Oh, security camera video helped crack the Boston bombing case. But did similar security camera videos from the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995 also show two suspects fleeing but are missing? Well, a lawsuit claims just that. That videos from the destroyed building's security cameras captured that terror attack in progress, but the FBI says it can't find those supposed videos. Well, now U.S. District Court Judge Clark Waddups has ordered this go to trial. He says there were genuine and significant disputes on whether the FBI has discharged its duty. And he has said that he thinks it's, quote, astounding that the FBI says, well, they're gone. The FBI told us its policy is not to comment on pending litigation, and the Department of Justice has not returned our request for comment. Joining us now is the attorney who is behind this case and has been suing the government to get the tapes, Jesse Trentadue, who joins us from Salt Lake City. Jesse, we've been following this for a number of years. So first, why do you think these tapes exist, and what do they show?
Well, I've proven they exist. I have witnesses who were there a month before the bombing who were bidding on a contract to monitor the surveillance cameras and explain to the court exactly how they operated. They were recorded off-site. I had a witness who was there that morning as part of the rescue efforts and was literally ordered out of the building by the FBI as they seized the cameras from the Murrah building. I have records from the federal government describing the contents of the surveillance tape. And they basically say that the surveillance tape shows the truck bomb detonating 3 minutes and 6 seconds after the suspects, plural, exited the vehicle. And that's not my words, that's the FBI's words on their own documents.
Yeah, let's take a look. We have this is the timeline. This is actually Exhibit 3 from your case, supposedly from the government. And let's see exactly what it says. Here's that quote that seems actually pretty astounding. It seems so specific. The security video shows the Ryder truck pulling up to the federal building and then pausing 7 to 10 seconds before resuming into a slot in front of the building. Security videotapes from the area show the truck detonation 3 minutes and 6 seconds after the suspects, notice the plural, exited the truck. I mean, it looks like 3 minutes and 6 seconds. They had to actually time this tape, but the government says these tapes, they don't know where they are, they don't see them, they don't know anything about these tapes.
Well, Mr. Sean, I think the significant thing is they've never denied they had them. They've just told the federal court for the last, it's almost been 5 years, that they've looked and looked and looked and they can't find that tape, which is incredible. It has, no one would believe that given the significance of the bombing. It was the first act of domestic terrorism in this country. You would have thought that that tape would have been exhibit number 1 in the Tim McVeigh murder trial.
Well, the government,
in fact,
let me just interrupt, because the government says that this is all hearsay, and they say that Secret Service timeline, quote, has been disavowed, the trustworthiness of these statements. So they say you can't even trust their own documents.
Well, it's interesting because those statements that went into that timeline came from then Director of the FBI, Louis Freeh. And that's not hearsay. When you have the Director of the FBI saying it is so, it sure as hell must be so.
Well, he's not here at the moment to defend himself, but the bottom line is, what do you hope to show? A federal judge has been backing you, ruling after ruling in terms of getting this to trial. What do you hope to finally show once this is in trial in the federal courthouse in Salt Lake City?
Well, the significance of the trial, and it hasn't been set yet, as I understand the court's ruling, is whether I will be able to go look for those tapes through a process called discovery, take depositions and maybe even do a search. That, I think, is going to be the issue tried. The significant thing about those tapes are they don't deny they exist, and they show more than one person getting out of that truck on the morning of April 19th, 1995. That's significant because the federal government has always maintained, especially the FBI, there were only 3 people involved. We caught all 3 of them, and Tim McVeigh was the only person in that truck that morning. Well, there was someone else there too. And I think what that someone else will turn out to be is an informant working for the FBI.
Well,
that's why those tapes
the FBI
have not been found.
The FBI certainly has denied, of course, any involvement in this, absolutely. But this is going to trial. We'll see what the trial brings. It is pretty intriguing. We'll see what happens with these alleged tapes. Jesse Trentadue, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We will follow that trial. We'll be right back.
Thank you for having me.